Earth is crowded. Every environment is teeming with life, ranging from microscopic bacteria multiplying in a single drop of water to the blue whale, the most massive animal to ever exist. Biologists have cataloged over 2 million distinct organisms sharing this space. Managing that volume of data, identifying a single species, or recognizing its relatives is practically impossible without a standardized method to group them. That method is taxonomy. It operates as a classification framework that filters every living thing into 7 distinct ranks, starting at the broad kingdom level and narrowing down step by step. As you move down this hierarchy toward the species level, the groups get smaller and the shared biological traits between the remaining organisms become highly specific. This system provides a reliable structure. It allows scientists to trace common biological features, chart evolutionary histories, and understand exactly how complex organisms evolved from simpler forms. In the 18th century, Swedish botanist Carolus Linnaeus tried to organize this incredible biological variety by proposing a simple 2-kingdom system that sorted all life into either plants or animals. His most enduring contribution was binomial nomenclature. Under this framework, every single organism receives a unique 2-part Latin name, consisting of a generic genus and a specific species. If we look at this large predator, for example, biologists identify it globally as Panthera leo, ensuring scientists across continents discuss the exact same animal. But Linnaeus relied entirely on macroscopic observations, like movement and basic responses to stimuli. By classifying life based solely on outward features, he often grouped entirely unrelated species together and failed to account for microscopic organisms. Modern biology requires a far more precise framework. To properly categorize organisms, scientists had to look past outward appearances and examine the internal mechanisms that actually keep an organism alive. In 1969, ecologist R.H. Whittaker proposed a solution that divided life into 5 kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. He assigned organisms to these categories by passing them through 3 rigorous biological filters. The first filter starts at the microscopic level, evaluating the internal complexity and structural organization of a single cell. This is a primitive prokaryotic cell. It lacks a true nucleus, leaving the organism's DNA floating freely entirely within the cytoplasm. Contrast that with this advanced eukaryotic cell. It features a membrane-bound nucleus to protect DNA, surrounded by highly specialized organelles. This cellular division is the first major branch in Whittaker's system. It permanently separates the primitive prokaryotic organisms of Kingdom Monera from all other complex life on Earth. The second filter moves outward from the single cell to assess how those cells are organized into a complete functioning body. In unicellular life forms, one single microscopic cell must execute every vital function the organism needs to survive, from consuming nutrients to respiration. Multicellular organisms, like this shark, operate completely differently. They're constructed from vast numbers of cells that combine to form specialized tissues, organs, and biological systems. Whittaker's third and final filter determines how the organism obtains the raw energy required to survive in its environment. Plants and algae utilize autotrophic nutrition. They synthesize their own food directly from inorganic substances present in their surroundings. Animals and fungi rely on heterotrophic nutrition. Because they lack the ability to produce energy internally, they must consume other organisms to sustain themselves. By applying these 3 specific filters, cell complexity, body organization, and mode of nutrition, Whittaker categorized life based on how organisms actually function and survive, replacing Linnaeus's reliance on superficial appearances. While Whittaker's 5-kingdom system gives biologists a highly structured logic to map our planet, nature rarely obeys the neat boundaries we built for it. Consider the microscopic Euglena. It is a single-celled biological anomaly that simultaneously possesses conflicting survival traits from multiple different taxonomic kingdoms. Internally, it contains green structures that allow it to photosynthesize and generate energy, just like an autotrophic plant. Yet it also possesses a whip-like tail that it actively uses to swim and hunt for food like a heterotrophic animal. It sits directly on the fence between our established categories. Based on the rules of cellular complexity, body organization, and nutrition we just covered, which kingdom does this creature belong in? Look back through Whittaker's filters and post your classification reasoning down in the comments. If you want to keep exploring the deep mechanics of biology, hit the like button and subscribe. See you next time.